I think it's real easy to argue that the most popular area and wing of aviation right now is backcountry flying. Backcountry flying is known for all the really high-end, really cool airplanes like the Carbon Cubs, the Super STOLs, Super Cubs, all those types of planes, and they are incredible aircraft. Now that I've owned the Avid for a couple of years, I can give you at least my perspective on, is this thing the best entry-level backcountry airplane? And I think if you're going to do any kind of comparisons, you always have to talk about the pros and the cons, because really no aircraft is perfect. I mean, maybe there's some that are close, but I think everything has its give and take. For the Avid Flyer, mine is the B model, and that's the only Avid I've ever flown, so really that's all I can tell you about. So what's some of the pros for this aircraft? Number one, easily the STOL performance. This is a small light sport aircraft. It has an 85 horsepower engine, and with that 85 horsepower, it really has always gotten me in and out of any place that I wanted to go. As you know from watching the videos, I fly with Carbon Cubs, Super STOLs, you name it, I fly with it, and I can get most of the time in the same places that those guys can. When they're really pushing the envelope, getting in some really super short places, I may not go there, but that's probably more skill level on me versus the aircraft. But then again, that's only like 1% of the time. 99% of the adventures, I'm right there with them. So with the Avid, I can easily, within a 300-foot window, take off and land, and that's easy. That's not stretching it, that's not really pushing it too hard. 300 feet, take off and landing, I'm in the good. And for the playground that we operate on here in South Georgia, you will have a great playground and a fun time with 300 feet of bars. Number two, fuel efficiency. With the Avid Flyer, I am burning usually 4 to 5 gallons an hour. Now that depends on a lot, whether you're cruising or if you're really just ripping, roaring, takeoff and landing back-to-back sandbars, pouring the coals to it. Obviously, you're probably getting closer to that 5 gallon an hour mark. But with this aircraft, I have, it says 8 gallon, you can't really fill it all the way up, so we'll call it a 7 gallon nose tank. Plus I got 10 or 11 gallons in the wing, so you really can have all the adventure you want. Usually for me, unless I'm doing cross country, I just put fuel in that header tank and I'm good to go. Not only is it STOL capable, it's also very fuel efficient. Number three, one of the other perks to it is its size. It is very small and compact. If you've got, you know, a 40-foot path in the trees, you can get in and out. Now, obviously the wingspan of the Avid is much smaller than that, but that gives you a great cushion around you so that you don't necessarily, you know, take out your nav light on a willow tree here on the sandbar. Point number four, one of the things that makes this Avid Flyer extremely appealing is the price. You can get in a decent Avid Flyer for less than 30 grand. And that is pretty phenomenal. When you talk about, you know, Carbon Cubs that are $250,000, Super Cubs that are $150,000, and really for a Kit Fox 5 or higher suited up the way you're going to want it for backcountry flying, or even a Super Cub, you're well over 6 figures, you're well over the $100,000 mark. But for 30 grand or less, you can always find a good Avid Flyer. All right, so I've talked about a lot of the pros and the benefits of the Avid Flyer, but with everything, there's always a negative, right? So let's talk about some of the cons, in my opinion. One of the cons when you're operating the Avid as a backcountry machine is no flaps. The Avid Flyer, it's just like the Kit Fox, it has flaperons, and they serve its purpose, but are they as good as flaps in the backcountry environment? In my opinion, not quite. But does that stop you? Absolutely not. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I have had one heck of a time playing out on the sandbars, on the river. I have flown this thing from the mountains to the beaches and everything in between, and my flaperons have never stopped me. If I had the option to have them, I would take them. But is it the deal breaker? No. So that's a small con in my opinion. All right, the next con I believe it has is its size. Now I know I just said that was one of its pros, because with the small compact size, you can get in and out of tight spots, turning around. It's great, it has its benefits. But for me, and the fact that I like to bring people flying, I love to take people flying for the first time, the cockpit size of the Avid is rather small. Now, my Avid has a useful load of around 540 pounds, which means I can fill up my header tank, me and another grown man my size, and we can fly, and it will get up off the ground And you probably won't do backcountry flying on a 500-foot sandbar, but you can get out and explore grass strips and just enjoy flying. But as you saw in one of my recent videos where Daniel and I flew down to Andy's house for his annual farm fly-in, we flew with the doors open just to give us that extra shoulder room. So can 2 adults fit in it? Absolutely. Is it comfortable? Absolutely not. So in my opinion, that can be a con if you plan to bring another adult with you. It's hard to pack in there. Now again, if it's just you or you and a child, great aircraft. If you got another 200-pound adult that's 6 foot or 5'11" that you want to bring with you, not so much. All that long story to come back and say, is the Avid Flyer B model the best entry-level aircraft into backcountry flying? In my opinion, absolutely. For the price that you can get into flying, for the fuel efficiency of it, and as you have seen on this channel, I think I have proven the STOL capability in the backcountry flying with these really top-notch airplanes. So in my opinion, if you're looking for a way to get into the backcountry flying, but you don't have the budget to spend 6 figures on one, the Avid Flyer is 100% a great aircraft to get into backcountry flying. Now, with that being said, all right, I've talked myself up. This was not supposed to be part of the video. Recently, I told you on one of my videos that I was possibly thinking about selling the Avid because I'm ready to step up to something with a little more room in it. Again, performance, love the aircraft. Cost of operation and ownership, love the aircraft. I have no complaints with the Avid Flyer except for me and my mission cockpit size, because it's hard for me to bring people flying. So, I wasn't planning on doing this here. All right, here it is. It's official. The Avid Flyer is officially for sale. If you want to talk about it, again, I love the aircraft. We're not doing lowball offers and all that mess. Just find something else to buy. But if you're serious, you want to get into backcountry flying and you want an inexpensive way to do it, shoot me an email. Let's talk about it. the1aviate@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and let's talk about it. Oh, holy smokes, I can't believe I just did that. Maybe I won't regret it. Somebody buy it real quick before I change my mind. Okay, that's a wrap. Hey, real quick, look at this new hat. All right, 1Aviate, make adventure happen. I tell you what, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna write a number in the sand real quick. All right, I just wrote a number in the sand. I want you to drop me a comment below with a number between 1 and 100. Then whoever guesses the number that I have just wrote in the sand, here, real quick, I'm gonna take a picture of it. All right, took a picture of it. If you guess the number I just wrote in the sand, I've got an extra one of these hats. I'm gonna mail it to you. So right now, in YouTube, in the comments, drop a number between 1 and 100. And if you guess the number I just wrote in the sand, I'm gonna send you a 1Aviate hat. How about that? All right, I'm going flying. It's warming up a little bit. I'm nervous because I just told y'all it's for sale. See you on the next one.